I'm beginning to wonder what I can read. I mean, I read 2 weeks ago, I read Sunday. People are going to get sick of hearing the same poem. I have 3. The first one is sort of a found poem / where I went with it from there, based on an article about W.G. Sebald. Private lives vanished. Time measures nothing but itself, W.G. Sebald. A compression somewhere behind Schirkenfeld, clotted with untranslated fragments of teeth, the aggregation frantic, the code of secret bones. Dense points of obscurity blurred upon coarse-made paper, a pond slowly melting, seen from a passing train. The Blutbahn, Dachau, Kaufering, Landsberg. Into history fades a small circle, mourners of the disregarded, the inanimate ruins and intricate landscapes diminished by monkeys plucking strawberries, technique impeccable. The private life unrecounted, things outlast us. Our history opens inside them, everywhere a vigilance, the objects always listening to the sound of feathers lifting, the shimmering light. The next one is sort of a Google poem. Somebody that I met in Massachusetts, who's actually from Toronto, is a librarian in Uxbridge, and she was telling me a story about pigeons and the clock. And I wanted to know more because I thought, oh, I'll write a poem. And when I Googled, I found out about smuggling pigeons, and the men were from Uxbridge, and the library was in Uxbridge. Anyway, it's called Guardians of the Clock. Men were caught with birds moving inside their coats as they smuggled pigeons across the Canadian border. They claimed to be collectors. Perhaps they lied. Canada has its own legion of rock doves, mourning doves, pigeons white and gray, scourge of windshields, shithawks, with their everlasting cuckoo-roo-coo chorus, early mornings and all day long. Perhaps these are the same birds perching on the clock tower, rising above a library, stopping time in its unfamiliar track. In a long green skirt, the ghost of librarians past climbs a ladder armed with a pea shooter. Her name is Kathy. She shoos the birds away. Some say these pigeons are Joseph Gould's companions, hunters, patriots, members of America's militia, still trying to win the Upper Canada Rebellion. First salvo the stopping of the hands on the Joseph Gould clock at the library in Uxbridge. Or perhaps it's a curse for towns called Uxbridge. If you Google pigeon and Uxbridge, you find pest control for Ontario, the United Kingdom, and the one in Massachusetts. So many subversives. The last one is from the new chapbook, Architectural Variations, and I had some help from Jeff with pronunciation. The religious context of architectural variations. Light equals knowledge equals consciousness equals enlightenment. The Navajo, the Filipino, the Hindu face their houses east to capture the rising sun. The first hogan of the Navajo was built by coyote and by beavers using male and female logs. The Ibaloi Filipino house rises above the ground, creating a space for tomb. The Hindu god of fire sits in the southeast. The Godhead northeast, doors never open south to the place of death. My house faces southwest. It has a Laurentian green door and good neighbors. It says prayers in winter in a language that I cannot decipher. Flowers are forbidden. The resident cat god eats green vegetation he spits up later. In the back field, a white cat running backwards spits Egyptian curses into a potato chip bag stuck on its head. I try to help, but scare it into losing another life. At sundown, the shadow of Bastet, his mother goddess, etches her profile into my wooden fence with gold daggers she sheaths in her claws. Okay.